Hello my craft friends, welcome back to Sweet Bay Lane. Just in case you're new here, my name's Tracy. This is part 2 of a 3-part series where we are working with the wood round cutouts. Now I purchased mine from Hobby Lobby and Dollar Tree, but you can find them anywhere in the marketplace. I also will be using some other supplies from Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into our project.
For this DIY, we're going to be using one of these wood rounds from the Dollar Tree's Crafter Square section, along with one of these self-adhesive wall tiles that you can find near their automotive section. Now we're going to start this DIY by taking a design. Now this can be a Christmas card design, or like I did, I just printed out a vintage Santa onto a piece of printer paper, and I'm going to glue it with the Elmer's purple glue stick to the front side center of my wood round. And it doesn't matter if it's even, as long as the design is in the center of your wood round. Next, we're going to take this self-adhesive wall tile, we're going to remove it from its wrapping, and we're going to trace a circle around the back side of our tile. Now, as you'll see, this tile has a sticky backside, and it has a plastic film that covers that sticky. So what I like to do is keep that all intact, and then draw my circle and cut it out with a sharp pair of scissors. This is a much easier process. You get a nice clean line on your cutout tile circle. And then you'll see you have just the white backing of your tile that is not sticky anymore, and the front side, which is your silver. Now that we have that cut out, we're going to come in with some cardboard. We're going to put that behind our tile circle. We're going to take a utility knife and cut out around the design in the center of our tile circle. And then it'll just pop out. I actually love that little piece. I think I can turn it into something. We'll save that for later. Now we're going to bring in some red spray paint, and we're going to spray paint our round tile red with this Rust-Oleum 2-time Ultra cover that covers plastic perfectly. Once we have it painted red and it's dried completely, now we're going to come in and antique our round tile piece. And to do that, I'm going to be using some of this antique gold rub and buff. And I'm just hitting the raised surface of the design. I found it best to paint the rub and buff on with a stiff bristled paintbrush and then wipe the excess off with a dry paper towel. And now that we're done with the rub and buff, we should have something that looks like this. I think this is stunning. It gives me a million ideas for the future. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to bring back in our wood disc, and you'll see why we wanted our design to be in the center of our wood disc, because we want it peeking out through the cutout of our wall tile. I found the best way to attach the wall tile to the wood piece was to put the hot glue onto the wood piece versus the plastic tile, because it will melt and warp. Then you're left with this beautiful antique vintage looking Santa face. But I'm not stopping there. I wanted to embellish mine with some greenery. And I purchased this little wreath from Hobby Lobby for half price. I loved how the greenery was so frosty and snowy looking, but since it didn't fit in the ring, I decided to dismantle my wreath and glue it around the edge of my wood round. If you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. Also, if you can, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That way it helps YouTube know to spread the crafting love to other crafters. Then once we get our greenery glued down, you're left with this beautiful greenery encircled piece. I think it is so lovely in person. Oh my goodness, you have to make one of these. You just have to. So moving on, and as you'll see here, I just used about half of the wreath, a little bit over half, but it gives you a lot of greenery for that little wreath. Now we're going to come in and add a vintage bow. I'm going to be using this beautiful Christmas plaid. I purchased this ribbon from Hobby Lobby and it was half off, so that was a great deal, I thought. And I love that it has that little flicker of gold through it that matches that gold rub and buff perfectly. Once I had my simple bow made, I'm just going to glue it to the top of my wood round. And to finish it off, I'm going to just cut one of these little bells free from this strand of bells I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to glue it to the center of my bow. Then you're left with this gorgeous retro vintage Christmas piece. I think this turned out so pretty, and I hope it inspires you to make one of your own because trust me, you will be happy with the finished product. Now you could come in and add a hanger to it as well if you saved the little twine hanger. I'm going to be just tucking mine into my Christmas tree, so I'm going to leave the hanger off. Well, that wraps it up for part 2 of our wood round series, and I can't wait to see you for part 3.